dreams. We all want things, but what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything? But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be?
Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm Rusty, your hearing officer for tonight, and yes, I do listen sometimes. In my day job, I weigh in on disputes, but the only thing heavy tonight will be the laughter. I'm used to sifting through testimonies, but the only thing I'll be judging tonight is my own jokes. You know, being a hearing officer is like being a therapist, but you can actually say order in the court. My career's full of hearings, but tonight, it's all about hearing your laughter. And my manager always jokes, Rusty, you're so bad at this job, even the gavel tries to overrule you. While working as a hearing officer, this is what my manager said about my work. Rusty, you're the only hearing officer who needs subtitles for clarity. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, when you make a ruling, even the law books scratch their heads. Picture this. My executives comment on my work when something like this. You're so confusing, people leave the hearing with more disputes than they came in with. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. Your idea of maintaining order is like trying to herd cats. While working some extra hours, my team said this. You could turn a simple case into an episode of a legal drama. So, on a Friday, my team came up with this gem about my work. Even the gavel falls asleep when you start speaking. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. You have a unique talent for making clear cases complex. One day, this is what my supervisor said about my work. Your verdicts are like abstract art, everyone sees something different. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. You're the reason why people believe justice is not only blind but also deaf. You won't believe what my team said about my work recently. In your courtroom, the scales of justice don't just tip, they do somersaults. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. You're so bad, clients prefer a hung jury over your decision. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. Your legal advice sounds like a riddle wrapped in an enigma. So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, you make jury duty feel like a lifetime sentence. Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this. Your rulings are more unpredictable than a weather forecast. The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. You turn every hearing into a hearing impairment seminar. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. With your legal interpretations, even the statues want to leave the courthouse. You won't believe the hilarious thing my manager said. You're the only hearing officer who could make both sides feel guilty. My boss's perspective on my work took an unexpected turn when he said, your courtroom is less order in the court and more disorder in the discourse. Here's a good one. My head of department's take on my work was, you have a knack for turning legal briefs into long, confusing epics. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. Under your gavel, justice isn't blind, it's bewildered. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. You're the kind of hearing officer who makes people want to plead insanity just for dealing with you. Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday. Your verdicts are like a magic show. Now you see justice, now you don't. I couldn't believe it when my executive remarked this. You have a way of turning court sessions into guessing games. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did. And it was, you're so unpredictable, even the court reporter keeps asking for repeats. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. In your courtroom, order is just a suggestion. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, your gavel is more decorative than functional. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. You're the reason why the phrase miscarriage of justice was invented. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my manager said this about my work. When you preside, even the most straightforward cases need a roadmap. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superiors said about my work was truly memorable. Your legal reasoning is like a maze no one can find their way out. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? You're the only hearing officer where both sides unite in confusion. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. Your rulings are so strange, they should be part of a conspiracy theory. It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment. In your courtroom, the blindfolded lady of justice just facepalms. Another day, I went to work and my manager said, "You make legal proceedings look like a circus and you're the ringmaster." So, my team leader came up with this singer about my work. Your sense of justice is so warped, it belongs in a funhouse mirror. Just this Wednesday, my colleagues said this about me. When you rule, it's less law and order and more floor and disorder. I had to hold back laughter when my team commented on my work like this. You could make a traffic ticket dispute look like a Supreme Court case. Guess what my manager said during our meeting? Your decision-making is as clear as mud in a thunderstorm. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, "Under your watch, court recess is the only time sense prevails." It's like my superintendent woke up and decided to roast my work with this comment. Your legal interpretations could baffle a team of scholars. Guess what my team said about my work during one of our meetings? In the courtroom, you turn the law into a guessing game. My team's feedback on my work was quite the surprise. You're the only hearing officer who could make a simple case last longer than a soap opera. One of my colleagues dropped this gem on Monday. When you give a verdict, it's like a plot twist in a mystery novel. Let me share what my team had to say about my work just yesterday. Your idea of judicial review is asking for a thumbs up or down. I had to hold back laughter when my administrator commented like this. You make the courtroom feel like an episode of a reality TV show. Just when I thought I'd heard it all, my team said this about my work. Every time you bang your gavel, justice flinches. Last week, my controller threw this curved ball. Your rulings are more confusing than a jigsaw puzzle with extra pieces. Here's a good one. My team's take on my work was, if there was an award for legal chaos, you'd be the lifetime achiever. The other day, my boss had this to say about my work. You're the reason why people think court jester is an actual courtroom role. So, my manager dropped this gem about my work recently. In your hands, the law is more flexible than a contortionist. You'll get a kick out of what my manager said. You have the unique talent of leaving everyone in court baffled, lawyers included. Picture this. My team's comment on my work went something like this. You're the kind of hearing officer who'd declare a mistrial due to a cloudy day. My employer's feedback was quite the surprise when he said, your legal logic is so twisted, it could be a roller coaster design. So, there I was on a coffee break when one of my colleagues said to me, you could turn a parking ticket hearing into a constitutional debate. I've heard some things in my time, but what my superior said about my work was truly memorable. Under your gavel, every case becomes a cold case. We went for a team building and my team leader dropped this gem. You're the reason why court transcripts read like comedy scripts. Let me share what my director said about my work on Tuesday. Your verdicts are like abstract paintings, nobody understands them, but everyone pretends to. Ever had your work summed up by your chief in a single sentence? Mine did. And it was, you turn court procedure into court adventure. While working some extra hours, my team said this, if legal clarity was gold, you'd be bankrupt. In the realm of unbelievable feedback, my administrator said this about my work. You're so bad, people ask for a jury of their peers just to avoid your rulings. Picture this. My executive's comment on my work went something like this. Your courtroom is less legal proceedings and more proceeds with caution. Thank you, everyone, for joining me in this courtroom of comedy tonight. It's been a pleasure presiding over this session of laughter and fun. Remember, in the court of humor, everyone's guilty of having a good time. I'll be heading back to my day job, where justice may not always be clear, but their intentions are good. Keep laughing, keep smiling, and always appeal to your better nature. And as my manager always says, Rusty, you're the best at turning serious hearings into a circus. Too bad we're not selling tickets. Thank you for being here and have a good day. See you on the next one.
And we all got dreams, we all want things. But what you gonna do for it? How you gonna move for it? What you gonna be? And do you believe you can do anything?
Hey, I may be the worst at my job, but At least I am entertaining. Leave a comment down below and let me know what your manager is saying about your work. And if you didn't enjoy this show, well, I promise I'll try even harder to disappoint you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, stay employed and keep smiling.